I'm done. Okay, I am done. I can't do this anymore. This has to be the last time. You see, this is the 6th time I have tried to encapsulate my findings of the Audioquest Nighthawks, and I am sick and tired of never being able to do it fully. I have captured this 5 previous times, and one thing or another has prevented me from uploading the video, either because the sound didn't get recorded or because I really wasn't happy, which is what happened 4 out of the 5 previous occasions. But now, this is the end, okay? This is the end. I have finally this is it. This is the 30-day roundup. Okay, this is the 30-day assessment of these headphones. Now, I've had these headphones for longer than 30 days. I've had them for about 7 weeks now, and I've listened to them consistently over the last 7 weeks. Now, originally, during my unboxing, I had shown you that Audioquest recommends that you burn these headphones in, not burn them, but burn them in, burn the drivers in, for 150 hours before you pass judgment. Okay, let me just get this out of the way. The 150 hours has elapsed many hundred hours ago. Okay, number 1. Number 2, I don't remember a damn thing about the sound from the moment I first put them on. I don't remember, and no human being would be able to remember. Okay, so whether or not 50 hours have passed, or 150 hours, or 350 hours, you won't remember the sound that you originally heard when you put these on for the first time. So the 150-hour burning, yeah, it happened. I don't know. I can't tell you if there's a difference. Moving on. These, I've had such a hard time trying to summarize my findings for this pair of headphones. I don't know what to say. What can I possibly say about these headphones? Can I say that they are fantastic? Yes, they are fantastic. Can I say that they are the best headphones I've ever had? No, they're not the best headphones I've ever had. But they are the most unique headphones I have ever had. And if you're in the market for something that's unique, something that's different, something that is going to be a staple, right? So this is going to be a benchmark unto its own. Now, you can get the HD 800s, the 700s, the Odyssey LCD 2s. You can get a Sony headphone. You can get one of the Meze headphones. You can get a Denon. You can get a Fostex. You can get all those things. And they all are going to sound different from this. Now, you get the Sennheiser headphones, whether it's the HD 600, the 650, the 6XX, which is the same thing as the 650. You get the 700, the 800, the 800S, the 800,000, whatever they're doing now. And you get them to benchmark other headphones, as well as to get them to compare to, well, not compare, but to master. That's what I meant to say. In order to record music, if you're a producer or you're a creator. These are not that. These are simply to enjoy. And boy, have I enjoyed them. I have struggled and struggled and struggled and struggled for the past 7 weeks to come up with real negatives about this pair of headphones. What do I say that's not going to sound like I'm gushing all over these headphones? I'm gushing all over these headphones, okay? I love these headphones. These are so damn unique. I would not have purchased these headphones unless I had found them for $150. $150 for these things. That's what I paid on Amazon, brand new. That listing is no longer available. That seller, I don't know what happened to it. I cannot find these for $150 anywhere. Not on eBay, not on Amazon, not on any other third-party seller you can find online. Because if I found it again for $150, $175, I'd immediately buy another pair of these. That's how much I love these headphones. These are amazing for what they do. But before we get into what they do, let's talk about what they don't do so well, because that's very, very important for people. It's important for you to know, first off, that these headphones have a unique style. Now, all headphones manufacturers try to have some sort of uniqueness with their styling. That's what they do in order to differentiate themselves from other headphone manufacturers and other headphone designs. The Audioquest LCD series has this very big, robust, tank-like construction. The Sonys have this kind of industrial look where it's rounded and flat and plastic most of the time. Vast majority of the time, Sony headphones are primarily plastic. You have the Mdr, which their signature is these really nice wood ear cups and just really good build quality, different but good build quality. You have the One More triple drivers, which have very odd looking styling because it looks like a hubcap or spokes on a car tire. Spokes on a car tire? It's not Ben-Hur. It's not spokes on the car tire. You're not trying to run over the car. You know what I mean. The reason I bring up those headphones because those headphones are part of this summary. And right now, all you need to know is that this pair of headphones looks considerably different from any other pair of headphones you will ever find, period. This is it. This and the sister headphone, brother headphone, whatever, the Night Owl, which is the closed back version, they both have the same styling. Whether you like it or you hate it, this is it. And style is important. No matter what audiophiles say, style is important. Style is important because if you hate the way a pair of headphones looks, you're not going to wear it. Psychologically, you're just not going to wear it. You'll be less inclined to pick those pair of headphones up. And if you are better than that, if you say, style matters nothing to me, then okay, great. Then this is not going to be a problem. These headphones, they're ugly to some people. I don't find them to be beautiful in any way, but I do find them to be unique. And I'm happy with them being unique. They are distinct. When I see these, I know exactly what they are, no mistaking them. When you see these, you know exactly what they are, no mistaking them. So the styling is a very personal issue. You like it, you hate it, you come to love it, you come to not hate it as much, totally up to you. Then, let's move on to comfort. This is incredibly comfortable. I've had many people put these headphones on. People who listen to headphones on a regular basis, people who only have earbuds, and people who don't even have earbuds or headphones. They have a Bluetooth speaker, and that's how they listen to their music, or they listen to them in their car. They all have consistently told me this pair of headphones is comfortable. Because it is. As weird as this pair of headphones looks, it is darn comfortable. Wait a minute, hold on. Wasn't I supposed to talk about the negatives? Yeah, how did I get backtracked to so this is the problem. I want to talk about the negatives, and yet I start talking about the positives. Okay, I'm going to go back. Let me take a step back. Negative one, the styling. You may hate it, you may like it, it's all up to you. Most people will probably find these to be on the uglier side, as did I. Negative point, but not really, because that's a very personal issue. Okay, I'm gonna be much more strict with myself. Stay negative. Negative number two. The ear cups or the ear pads. The ear pads are rather plush, and they are comfortable. Okay, I'm not going into the positives yet. They are comfortable, but the problem is they're proprietary. So yeah, you can replace these ear pads because they give you two different versions of these ear pads. This is the, what is this? It's not velour. I think it's suede. I like these over the pleather. And these are fully removable, and they have these plastic prongs that clip into place on the ear cups themselves. But the problem is that this is it. You cannot replace this with any third party. If you want a Dakoni ear pad, if you want a Brainwaves ear pad, if you want a third party $5 ear pad from eBay, can't do it. This is it. You're stuck. Now, is it possible to rip this off and then kind of somehow get that third party ear cup or ear pad around the plastic housing here? Because there is in fact a plastic bit here. And then clip it on? Yes, you can definitely do that if you were so inclined. But that's a lot of work, and you may end up destroying you will end up destroying the original ear pad that this comes with. If that doesn't matter to you, then yeah, go ahead and do that. But you shouldn't have to do that. There's no reason to do that. Headphone manufacturers should come into the 21st century. We are well into the 21st century. It's almost 2020. Well, it's just 2019. It's just started, but 2020 sounds better. Look, you don't need to do this proprietary nonsense. It doesn't make sense to do it. Let your customers have choice. Give them the option. If you are so confident in your headphones, give them the option. That demonstrates to people that you don't care. You don't care whether the customer goes out and puts on a different pair of ear pads because you are confident in the way that you've engineered your pair of headphones and you stand by the fact that these are comfortable. Go ahead, try it. We assure you that the sound quality and the comfort that you get from our ear pads that we have pre-installed on these pair of headphones is going to be tough to beat. That is confidence in your product. When you put on unnecessary proprietary nonsense like this, you are limiting your customer base because people might actually enjoy the sound out of these things. I do. People might actually enjoy the sound out of these, but be turned off with the ear pads. It happens all the time with headphones. All the time. Whether they are $30 headphones or they're $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 headphones. When I got my TH900s, I changed the pads. You know why? Because the pads that Fostex sent with them, not terrible, certainly not the greatest. Comfort is an issue. So I had to replace them with more expensive ear pads. Not more expensive ear pads, but I had to spend another $40 on ear pads just to make it get the comfort to where I wanted it to be. Now, I appreciate that Fostex did not use any sort of proprietary nonsense because it lets me do it. But that's the whole point. You should not be selling a pair of headphones without giving the user, the buyer, the option of changing at least the ear pads. I'm not asking you to let the whole ear cup be dismantled and messed with. I'm asking you to this thing, the thing that touches the head all the time, let it be replaceable. And it's not. You get two options. You get the suede and you get the pleather. And guess what? You have to buy it through Odyssey or some weird third-party online store I've never heard of. I've never purchased anything from, but they're $40 or $50 for these. And if you don't like them, you're not going to go out and buy them. You're not going to buy a replacement. So that's a big negative for me. This proprietary ear cup thing is unnecessary. The other thing is, and by the way, I'm building up to the biggest negative, the one I'm really angry about. But the other thing is the suspension system that I almost said Odyssey, Audioquest has on the ear cup. So the ear cup is suspended by this rubber ring, which is then connected to these 4 rubber prongs that is then connected to this, is it metal or plastic? It's metal, to this metal half circle, almost full circle, that's then connected to the metallic headband. And it's unique. If it was just a styling decision, I'd go, okay, well, I understand you want it to be different, but it's not necessary. But Audioquest says the suspension system is necessary to limit the vibration to the ear cups when you are listening to music. So their purpose is we suspend the ear cups so that you are not distracted by other vibrations. What? Are you serious? Okay, most people have probably never seen something like this before, unless you own these pair of headphones. You've never seen something like this because no other pair of headphones does this. Mr. Speakers doesn't do it, Odyssey doesn't do it, Fostex doesn't do it, Denon doesn't do it, Sony doesn't do it, ZMF doesn't do it, Cascade Fire doesn't do it, Brainwaves doesn't do it, EMU doesn't do it. I could keep going down the line. None of the other headphones, Sennheiser doesn't do it. Who does this except for Audioquest? That's it. You people do this. And are you telling me that in all those other headphones, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of headphones all those other manufacturers have created, without the suspension system, we are losing out on sound quality and immersion because the ear cups are not suspended? That is not the case, right? That is simply not the case. Now, if you sit there and you tap the the ear cup with your finger, yes, you're going to hear the vibrations. But you do that on this too. If you sit there and you tap on it, whether it's not suspended, you're going to hear the vibration. So what am I limiting the vibration from? I don't understand. If I'm sitting or laying down and listening to these headphones and my head's not moving, there's no issue about vibration. You'd get more vibration from a poorly constructed cord than you would by just having these sitting on your head like normal. What's the problem that they're trying to solve? They create a solution to a problem that does not exist. They pretended that there is a problem. There isn't a problem, guys. Okay, the problem does not exist. This suspension system is not necessary. Now, you might say, what's the big deal? I mean, the rest of the headphone is, I like it, I hate it, I don't like the design, whatever. What's the big deal? The big deal is this is a weak point on the headphones because it's suspended. Now, I don't know what the weakness here is. Like if Audioquest has tested this to see how much movement and how many times the ear cup swivel is going to result in one of these 4 prongs breaking, cracking, whatever. I don't know. That information is not on their website. So I have no idea. Now, in the 7 weeks I've had these headphones, I've had no issues whatsoever with the build. None. But these are weak points. These have to be weak points because you're constantly holding the headphones like this. You have to. How else are you going to put them on? And if at any one point, and on any occasion, one of these 4 prongs just cracks or breaks, then what? Then what do you do? Then you got to send these back for replacement, repair. And if it's out of warranty, then how much is Audioquest going to charge you for that? Unnecessary. You see my point? Unnecessary. The other thing that is completely unnecessary is something I've touched upon before. This thing, this awful, terrible, obnoxious cord that Audioquest sends. This cable is supposed to be oxygen-free. It's supposed to be a high-grade cable specifically mated to these pair of headphones. And it's terrible. It's thick. It's janky. It's short. It's like 3.5 to 4 feet at most. It's got this weird 35, 37 degree angle. I didn't measure it because I don't care. This weird angle, 3.5 millimeter connection. So here, let me show you. I'm plugging it into my Magni 3. And look at this thing. Do you see it? Why? I mean, if you're going to make a right angle, make it a right angle. Don't go halfway. This is a halfway measure. It's not even a halfway measure. It's a 37 degree measure. This is stupid, and it makes no sense. I don't know what they were thinking when they did this. It also has this big chunky Y. It's a literal Y split with the. I guess it looks like it's a microphone with the button here. So play, pause, probably skip, forward and back. I haven't used this cord, so I don't know. You know why? Because I hate it. I hate this cord. The biggest thing I hate about this pair of headphones, and I told you that I was getting to the biggest negative, is this cord. It's completely, utterly, totally terrible. It's terrible. I would say that it's trash, but it's not trash. Now, Audioquest clearly put thought into this pair of cord. Obviously they did, because they made certain decisions to make it look this ridiculous and function this dumbly. They say this is an oxygen-free cable. You know what, guys? I don't know how many times I have to say this. Excuse me while I take a drink of coffee, because obviously I need to be more hyped. I don't know how many times I have to say this. The laws of physics do not change for an audiophile. The laws of physics remain the laws of physics. I'm sorry. I know that this hurts you in your core, and your tiny minds are going to be very angry now, but electrons move the same. They don't change, okay? It doesn't change in this physical reality. The minute differences within oxygen-free or not oxygen-free, copper versus gold versus silver versus platinum versus kryptonite, it doesn't matter because your ears will be unable to find the difference. You can't do it. The normal person cannot do it. The audiophile cannot do it. The only reason that audiophiles do this and say this sort of nonsense is because they feel good about themselves in the morning and in the evening and in the afternoon. I have better ears than you. No, you don't. You have a particular taste. And in order to satisfy that taste, you are willing to go to whatever lengths to convince yourself that an oxygen-free cable, a $600 this is not a $600 cable, by the way, but a $600 cable provides you noticeably better sound quality than the stock cable or a cable for $30 on Amazon or B8H or anywhere else. That's nonsense. That's complete, utter nonsense. And until these people provide actual data demonstrating that there is a concrete, noticeable difference between those vastly more expensive cables and the stock cable, don't believe them. And I don't believe them. And I don't believe Audioquest. I don't believe it when they say that this particular cable is made it specifically for these headphones and provides you the best audio quality. And by the way, they tell you in the manual that you get, and this is kind of getting all messed up because I'm moving it around so much, but they tell you in the manual to let this cable burn in too. What? Let the cable burn in? You want me to spend another 150 hours? Well, if you mate this with the headphones, then it's gonna burn at the same time. But you want me to burn in a cable? Are you serious right now? It's a cable. Why should I need to burn this in? But that's what they say. Burn in this cable. So you know what I did? I plugged it in for a while, and I hated it because it was so short. And I got a replacement cable. I got a Periapp cable, and luckily the connections are dual 2.5 millimeters. So I had a dual 2.5 millimeter that I purchased, which works with my monoprice headphones as well. So it works with all my monoprice headphones, and it works with this. This is trash, whereas this is actually useful. This is the Periapp cable. It's not janky. It's long. It's well constructed. It doesn't, stick on the desk because this is rubber and it will stick on the desk. This is money better spent than this. That is my biggest gripe about this pair of headphones. This ridiculous cord. And that leads me to the mentality behind all of this. So there are 3 big issues overall, right? The biggest ones I could find about these headphones, the big issues. The ear pads are not user replaceable with third-party ear pads. Bad decision. I can live with it since I find these comfortable, but if other people don't find this comfortable, that's a big no-no. The suspension system, trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist, and the cable, all put together, what picture does that paint for you? That Audioquest engineers decided that they're going to try to cater to audiophiles. And they're selling themselves short. You are selling yourselves short by doing this. This pair of headphones is so good, that people should be flocking to get it. Now, if it's that good, then you can spend another $10 and get a cheaper cable, which will not change the sound quality, unless it's a really cheap cable. Then, if it's poorly made and the gauge and the wire is terrible and it's really cheap, then yes, you will notice a difference. But, a decent cable for another $10, $15, $20, $30, or Periapp, $75, then that's okay. If you're comfortable paying a little bit more money to get a replacement cable, great. No problem. If the sound is that good. But the point is, you as the manufacturer should not be making these ridiculous mistakes. If you're that confident in your pair of headphones, and you have a good reason to be, if you're that confident in your pair of headphones, work out this stuff. Just work this out. Don't do this. I don't see any noticeable difference between the cables. I don't see that this suspension system adds anything except for weak points. I don't see that these ear pads not being third-party user replaceable as a benefit. But, and here's the contrary, I find these headphones very comfortable for me, so I don't need to change the ear pads. And the build quality so far has been great, and nothing has prompted me to think that the suspension system is going to break on me anytime soon. So I guess there's that. You know, in my use, these headphones have held up perfectly, but for that cable. Those are the only negatives I can think of. That's it. So let's get to the actual review. How do I compare these? So on the Google Drive for my channel, I made a Google Doc that compares various headphones to these on 4 categories. First, price. Second, comfort. Third, sound signature. And fourth, noteworthy issues that I think you might want to know about. So the problem is that these headphones were originally sold for $700. They're not sold for $700. I mean, I'm sure you can find somebody on eBay who's willing to sell it to you for $700. I found mine for $150, as I said before. Current cost is anywhere between $230 to about $400 on eBay and Amazon. How do you compare that? If I compare it to the original $700 price, then I got to find a pair of headphones that cost $700 and then do a comparison to that. If I try to find it for $150, well, that's not really fair because I can't find these anywhere else for $150 because if I did, I'd probably buy the lot. The current price, $230 to $400, is that a more fair comparison? Well, then there's depreciation in the cost, just like driving a car off a dealership lot. The moment you pull out of the lot, you're taking a several $1,000 hit, even though you haven't put 1 mile in the car yet. Well, same thing with headphones, kind of, right? The fact that you purchased it and you have it delivered is sufficient to decrease the value. So how do I do this? What I did was I just got a number of headphones to compare. One more triple driver on here, the Mdr Z7, the Maisley 99 Classic, Sendy Ava, and the LCD2 Classic. Now, the thing with these headphones is that I wanted to give everybody kind of a wide range of comparisons. And I felt that the comparative headphones on this list provide a very thorough basis to make my conclusion about these headphones, because my bottom line about the sound signature is that it's very warm and plush and comforting. The midtones are just so personal and elevated and soothing. The higher frequencies are pretty much recessed. I mean, they're there, but they're not in your face. The bass is present and accurate, but not punchy, in the sense that some of the other headphones on this list are punchy headphones, bass-wise. This is just a pair of headphones that I would sit and listen to for hours and hours and hours, and I have, because I love the way that these sound. They change the sound signature of any song I put on, any song, for better or worse. For the most part, I love them. I love the way that these piano sounds on this. I love the way that vocals sound on this. And I love the way that an overall instrumental song sounds on this. But not every song. Only, the vast majority of songs, but not every song. These are great for jazz, great for orchestra, in my opinion. They're very good for vocals. These are just good headphones for every day. If you want truly immersive, well, I shouldn't say immersive because I don't think these headphones are really immersive. I would say that these headphones are instead very relaxing. If you've ever had a pair of relaxing headphones, then you understand what I mean. If you've never had a pair of relaxing headphones, what I mean is headphones that don't make you think about the fact that you're wearing headphones because they're comfortable. Headphones that have that reproduce sound in a way that doesn't hurt your ear, so it's not ear piercing. It doesn't give you a headache because of the thumping bass. You can hear the vocals. You understand what the instruments are, but it's not in your face. It's relaxed. So let's do the comparison. All right. I'm going to start off with the triple driver. The triple drivers headphones go for $175 on Amazon. You can find them for about $150 or so on eBay, but you get the gold version, which is the European version. And I've read that the European version has a slightly different sound signature than the black and silver version, which is sold in the United States. The triple drivers, the $175, that's the closest I could find that's close to the $150 that I actually paid for my pair. The One More are not as comfortable as the Audioquest. There's not even a comparison. The One More are very uncomfortable pair of headphones. Their clamping force is rather tight. Their ear cups are on-ear ear cups, which for me is not very nice because I don't like on-ear. And coupled with the very strict, hard clamping, it gets fatiguing very fast. Whereas in comparison to the Nighthawks, it's not fatiguing to me at all. But the bass on the triple drivers is really amazing. I have the TH900s, and the TH900s have this bass that is very impactful and just kind of, it's like you're sitting right next to that snare drum, and it's just so fulfilling. It's like, it's not a bass head headphone. Okay, so the TH900 is not a bass head headphone, because when I think of bass head, I think of people who just want wah 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 wah. No, these have very punchy, very articulate, very cerebral bass. The One Mores do. The Audioquest doesn't. As I said before, the bass is present. It's there, but it's not punchy. The One Mores is very punchy. The build quality on the One Mores is fine. There's no issues with that. Comfort is the biggest problem. And the other problem is that you can't change the ear pads on this whatsoever. The ear pads on the Audioquest you can change, because you can buy the same ear pad, but you can buy them from Audioquest or a third party. You can't even do that with the One Mores because it's not replaceable. It's glued into place. So this is it. Like it or not. For more punchy bass, you cannot do better than the One Mores for $175. I don't know any other pair of headphones that reproduce the type of TH900 bass that the One Mores do. The TH900 versus the One Mores, come on, the 900s win in every category. But if you want a portable 900, I would say that's the One Mores. Now let's talk about the Sony Mdr Z7, the original. I just did an unboxing of this, and I've had these for months. The Z7s are comfortable out of the box. They're very, very comfortable headphones. Not as comfortable as the Audioquest, but nowhere near as uncomfortable as the One Mores. These are all plastic, so the build quality of these is good. It's just not as good as the One Mores. And I think that in comparison, the build quality with the Sonys compared to the Nighthawk is probably the same. I don't foresee any issues with this or the Nighthawk, but just know that these are plastic. The vast majority of this is plastic. These are also much larger. The ear cups are much larger than the Nighthawks. Now, it doesn't look like that right now, but when you put these on your head, because the Sonys are circular, you have a sense that they're just they envelop your ear. Whereas the Nighthawk, even though it looks about the same, it feels bigger on the Sony. And the Sonys are just chunkier headphones, because look at the headband. Look at the rest of this. Whereas it looks like Audioquest kind of chiseled out their headphone from a block, like this is how it's going to look, and it's just the skeleton. And Sony said, let's just make a headphone that looks like a headphone. And that's what they did. The bass on the Sonys is elevated. It's warm. The midtones are very good. The higher frequencies are clear. And I think probably clearer than the higher frequencies on the Nighthawks. Mdr Z7 Classic. Just a really interesting pair of headphones. $309. You can probably find them for a little bit cheaper on Amazon and eBay, but I've come to find that they stay pretty much close to $300. Doesn't matter where you try to buy them. And I kind of appreciate that, because you know that you're not going to find it for a whole lot cheaper. So if you find it for $250, that's probably well worth $250, which is what I paid for this. They are very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. I almost want to say that they rival the Nighthawks, and in fact, on my Google Doc, I did say it rivals the Nighthawks. They're very comfortable. They're light. You know that there is a clamping force associated with this, but you forget it after a couple of minutes. They're easy to wear for long periods. The sound signature is it's good. It's punchy bass, elevated midtones, but the higher frequencies they seem much more recessed than on the Nighthawks. And it's not as clear as the Nighthawks. The Nighthawks provide overall a much more clear picture than, in my opinion, than the 99 Classic. The 99 Classics is just kind of a really nice vocal-centric mid-bass headphone, whereas the Nighthawk, it does provide a clearer image, clearer sound signature in the higher frequencies. This pair of headphones can be fully disassembled, by the way. You can disassemble the ear cups, you can mess around with the inside, the padding, do whatever you want. And Mdr even on their website shows you what these things look like disassembled. And there are YouTube videos about what they look like disassembled. And if you go on the forums, some people have added padding and changed all sorts of stuff about this, which I think is pretty neat. You're paying $309 for a pretty unique pair of headphones that has a very unique sound signature, and you can also mess with it if you wanted to. It's different in the same sense that Audioquest Nighthawks are different. I mean, look at this. Night and day difference, right? Black and white difference. They have their own particular take on style. You like it or you hate it. And they also have their own particular taste on the tonality of the music. Like it or hate it. I think that they're both different in the tonality, however. The Sony Avas. Okay, so I did the unboxing of the Sony Avas when I first got them, and I feel the same way about them then that I do now. I love these headphones. They are just phenomenal headphones. I don't, I said that the Mdr 99 Classics rival the comfort. That's not what I meant. The Mdr 99 Classics are very comfortable. These rival comfort on. Okay. These rival the Audioquest, and if you ask me which is more comfortable, I don't know. They're both so comfy. The thing with the Sony's is that everything fits perfectly on these things. They're so great in build quality. They're just phenomenal build quality. I could not ask for a pair of headphones better built, more comfortable than this. The sound signature is clear, it's consistent, it's well-defined higher frequencies without being ear-piercing. The bass is accurate, more neutral than on the Nighthawks. The midtones are accurate and clear, not colored like the Nighthawk midtones are, very warm, they're elevated, and you really get a personal feeling about those, like the singer singing to you, whereas the Sony's are a little colder. They're definitely colder. For mastering music, which would I recommend, the Sony's or the Nighthawk? Definitely the Sony's. Oh, definitely the Sony's. No doubt about it. The overall concept of the Sony's, which is $600, is these are fantastic. Now, if I couldn't find this for $300 or less, and these were still being sold for $700 versus the $600 Sendias, which would I recommend? I would recommend both. So that's the thing. They're so different from each other. The Nighthawk give you that warm, personal feeling. The Sendias give you that clinical, yet accurate, yet maybe clinical and accurate is the same thing, but they give you that precise sound signature without being ear-piercing, without being fatiguing, without hurting the musicality of the song. And you don't get that from the Nighthawks because that's not what they were designed for. So the $600, $500 range, there's no comparison. I can't compare. They're so different from each other. And then finally, we get to the Mac Daddy. The Mac Daddy is this. The LCD2C, or the 2 Classic. Have you ever wanted to sit inside a tank? Well, when you put these on, you will feel like a tank commander. Have you ever wanted to feel as if you were one of those Japanese animes where you were piloting one of those robot things? Put these on. You can pretend to be in one of those things. This is an amazing pair of headphones. You know what? Every Odyssey headphone that I have is an amazing pair of headphones. Their build quality, the artfulness in what they're trying to achieve, this industrial design concept, this robustness to their headphones is unmatched. I don't know of any other headphone that I would say has similar build quality and style. It's like a Leica camera. A Leica camera is robust and heavy, and you can bump it around, and it's in fact encouraged sometimes to wear it and let it discolor and show signs of use. That's the type of feeling I get. Oops, that's a sign of. Hold on, I did not activate you, Siri. Go away. That's the type of feeling I get when I listen to the Odyssey. Okay, night and day difference. One is ginormous, the other one is not. One weighs like a brick oven on your head. A brick oven, one weighs like a brick oven on your head. That's totally normal for me to say. The other one feels like air. It just sits there. It's like a dove that sits on your head. I think my comparison euphemisms are not jiving today. The LCD2 Classics are very weighty but comfortable because of the large ear pads, because of the design of the headband. They distribute the weight evenly, at least on my head. They're planar magnetic. If you've never had a pair of planar magnetic headphones, these things are fast. The bass is very, very responsive. The entire frequency is very precise and accurate, and it's not Sennheiser quality reproduction of the higher frequencies, and I'm glad for that. But you can definitely put these on and master music with this. I feel that this gives you a very accurate but slightly tuned sound. Now, how do you mean accurate and slightly tuned? Isn't that contradictory? Probably. Okay, probably, yes. But it's still, it has a slightly elevated mid-tone, though it's still accurate. And the bass is also a little elevated, though not punchy, not even remotely punchy, compared to the Z7s. Definitely nowhere close to the One More triple drivers. I would say that the bass is probably punchier on the LCD2s, than on the Sony Avas. Compared to the Audioquest, I think that the bass on the Audioquest is also a little bit more punchy. Now, part of the reason is the Audioquest is semi-open, whereas the LCD2s are fully open. And that's going to change the punchiness of the bass. These go for $800 on Odyssey's website, but you can find them used between $600 and $700 on eBay. Sometimes they dip below $600. Sometimes you can find them for about $550. Okay, we are now 45 minutes into this. My conclusion. I am very happy that I purchased these headphones. I would recommend these headphones to everybody. The issues that I originally talked about, the little build issues, the cord thing, and all that stuff, are not make it or break it things for me. The cord, you can replace. Comfort is not an issue for me. The ear cup suspension system, unnecessary, possibly an issue in the future, but so far, these have held up perfectly fine for me. In comparison to all the other headphones, they're so different. They're so different. I guess you could say that do you need both the Avas and the LCD2 Classic? Need is such a harsh word. No, you don't. Do you need the Z7s and the Nighthawk? Nope. Do you need the Meizu 99 and the Z7? Nope. Do you need the 99s and the Nighthawk? No. Do you need the triple drivers and the Nighthawk? Yes. See, the triple driver and the Nighthawk, and I just noticed I spelled Nighthawk incorrectly on the Google Doc. The triple driver and the Nighthawk produce vastly different sound signatures. But other than that, I think that if you want to listen to a pair of headphones that is going to be different from any other pair of headphones you've ever listened to, try these. These are going to remain with me for as long as they last. I am never going to sell my Nighthawks. I am never going to get rid of them. And I am going to continue to be as careful with them as possible because of the potential build issue. I truly am surprised about how the sound is reproduced. And this pair of headphones has taught me, if nothing else, this pair of headphones has taught me that there is in fact a difference between one headphone and another headphone. I know that all headphones do not sound alike. And these, the Nighthawks, are among my favorite. Hopefully this has been of some help. This is my 30-day, 7-week roundup, and I'm never, ever, ever going to spend 6 sessions trying to record something like this again.